Let's talk about all of this with former Trump economic advisor Stephen Moore. Stephen, thank you so much for joining us. Now,
Thank you, Kristie. Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about President Trump's thinking this week. Why did he reverse course and hit pause on reciprocal tariffs, apart from China, of course?
Well, I think, first of all, it's been a turbulent week for the financial markets and for the economy, not just in the United States, but around the world. And I think Trump wants to get this thing resolved as quickly as possible. He wants to get a deal done with all the major countries in the world. And by the way, there's nothing that Donald Trump is asking of the other countries that's unreasonable. He's just simply saying, why don't you lower your tariffs to the levels that we have, or else we're going to raise ours. He's starting to get calls from a lot of the major countries in the world. And so I think this is on, you never know, but it looks like right now that things are proceeding pretty well. And hopefully we'll get deals done quickly. And of course, China is in another category, though. China, we regard in the United States, China as an enemy, as an adversary, as a country that doesn't play by the rules and cheats. And so Donald Trump is going to be very tough with China.
Yeah, we're going to dig into China in just a moment, but I wanted to ask you about the market for U.S. Treasury bonds, because when they started falling this week, it looked like America's financial system was getting pretty shaky. Is that spooking the U.S. president right now?
Well, I mean, he cares about the stock market. He cares about American workers. He cares about the blue-collar workers who helped elect him. And by the way, people always ask me, well, why is Donald Trump doing this? And it's because he told the voters this is what he was going to do, and he has the support of voters in terms of getting very tough with other countries that don't give us a fair deal. As Trump would say, a lot of countries are ripping us off, and that's going to come to an end.
Yeah, Trump has always been very transparent. He is the tariff man, after all. And going forward,
that's right.
Treasury Secretary.
He said tariff was his favorite word.
That's right. That's right. And going ahead, we got these negotiations coming up, right? We got this 90-day pause to allow these negotiations with some 70 governments. And, that's a very long list. So, how feasible is this approach?
Well, he's going to have every department of the government really all hands on deck where we make these deals. I don't think the deals are that complicated. It's basically just trying to get these other nations to reduce their tariffs that they unfairly impose on us, so that when we sell goods to them, they're not charging us any more than we charge other countries when they bring in stuff in the United States. And I think what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of pressure over the course of the next few weeks and months for other countries to make these deals. As Trump said, first at the table, get the best deals, and the deals are probably going to get worse for those that are laggards. And so the main thing is going to be the major European countries, what happens with Canada and other nations like that.
Yeah, and so there'll be talks during this pause for reciprocal tariffs for EU nations, for Canada, elsewhere. No pause for China, and China showing no signs of backing down. Trump continues to jack up tariffs on China. What do you think is going to happen next in this standoff?
Well, listen, China really is in a different category. I think those will be tougher negotiations. China really does impose very dramatic restrictions on our ability to sell goods to them, whereas they need the access to America's market. China has taken a big hit in the last couple of months in terms of their economy, their stock market. It's not doing well. Let's put it like that. And so, and China can't really survive if they don't have access to the U.S. markets. That their economy will go into a Great Depression if they can't sell to the United States. And that's the kind of trump card that Donald Trump is playing. He's using the leverage that America has over these countries like China to force them to make better deals with the U.S.
Okay, so this has been quite the week. It's been a week of whiplash, of fear, of relief, of uncertainty, especially in regards to China. What has all this drama done to America, to America's credibility, and to the U.S. and also global economy? Your thoughts here?
Well, look, Americans are worried, no question about it. I'm worried. I've lost money in the market. And, we have 180 million Americans who have their money in their market, their 401k plans, their retirement plans. But I think most Americans are willing to give Donald Trump the benefit of the doubt. I mean, let's not forget when he was president in his first term, we had the biggest boom market ever. The NASDAQ was up 150%, the Dow Jones was up 60%, and the S&P 500 was up 75%. Those are pretty darn good returns. And I think most Americans realize this is a president who puts America first. He's a great negotiator, whether you like him or not. He's, he wrote the book, The Art of the Deal. And so I think for now, Americans are rallying behind the president, although people are nervous. There's no question about it. We'd like to see this get done as quickly as possible.
Well, as his former economic advisor, Stephen Moore, you give us some exceptional insight into Trump's thinking. Thank you so much for joining us. Go catch your flight.
Thank you.